Foxy 107, 104, the real sound of the triangle. This is Karen Clark, and Smooth Jazz at the Improv is this evening, and it's going to be quite a show. Shawn, LaBelle, Bobby, Lyle, and Stokely. Welcome, gentlemen. How you doing?
Hello.
Doing good,
Great.
Karen.
Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody's like just come from Minneapolis, from Texas, Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
And we're so glad to have you in town for Smooth Jazz at the Improv, which is happening at the Raleigh Improv this evening at 7:30. Tickets are on sale now, but hopefully everybody has gotten their tickets. Gentlemen, what can we expect tonight? Who wants to kick it off? Who wants to tell me what's going on?
Well, I think I'm going to probably have to kick it off.
It's your show, man.
Go ahead, Shawn.
It's all of us, man, collectively. But, I'm really blessed, Karen, to be with some incredible musicians tonight. Obviously, the legendary Bobby Lyle sitting here, who you already mentioned. Of course, Stokely and I go back 40 years from Minnesota, so it's a long history, long relationship, and we're just really collectively excited to be able to get together and do, what we do. And it's kind of a little bit different for everybody, because Stokely obviously has his own thing that he's out doing. I've got my thing, Bobby's got his thing, but when we get together, that's just the magic that happens. That's pretty special.
Well, we are excited. So are all three of you going to be on stage together tonight?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
love that. Love that. So we are in for a treat. Now, Stokely, are you singing or are you playing as well?
I'm doing both. I'm just glad to be here with my man Shawn and this brother right here who I've been looking at for many years when I was a youngster, and get to play some drums, and just glad to be here.
Now-
supported this young man over here.
This
Mr.
young
Shawn
man
LaBelle.
over here. So explain the Minnesota thing to me, because there's so much talent that has come out of Minnesota. Like what y'all doing up there? Because in my mind, growing up in North Carolina, I'm just like, everybody's wrapped up and it's cold. But apparently there's some other stuff happening in Minnesota.
You know what it is?
What is it?
Because I was raised in Minnesota.
Okay, so all three of you have the Minnesota connection.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so break this down, because we need to
Okay.
understand.
Starts with you.
Actually, you mentioned the long cold winters.
Mm-hmm.
That was the time we could be at home practicing our instruments.
Oh,
I
okay.
tell people all the time, if I had grown up in the city that I moved to after Minneapolis, which was Los Angeles, I probably wouldn't be able to play like I played, because I'd be at the beach and
Yeah.
chasing girls and
Too
doing
much
all-
nice weather. Too much nice weather
Too
there.
much nice weather when you're in your formative stage may not be a good thing.
Okay, so basically everybody was in rooms, in basements where the heat was on, and y'all just practice a whole lot. Because when you just take a snapshot of Minnesota, it's just so much talent.
Karen, I think people forget all the music that did come out of Minneapolis long before Prince.
Mhm.
You had Bob Dylan.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You had Bobby sitting right here.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Greenberg, Funky Town, one of the most played records of all time. I mean, you've got so much stuff and so diverse and different. I mean, not everything is just R&B.
Right.
There's a lot of stylistic things that are going on that are very unique and special.
So let's talk a little bit, Shawn, about how you got here. How did you get here? And I know that's probably a very, very long answer, but give me the radio version of
Well,
it.
I'm a radio host, and you
The
may
single.
be aware.
Right, yes.
I did a radio show.
That's
so
why you're like, are we on headphones? Are we on headphones?
Ask me all these questions.
Right?
But the thing that I think that really helped get me started was my father was a television icon. My dad was a producer of the Milton Berle Show. So
Oh,
he
wow.
produced legendary television. And my older brother Lance is a phenomenal jazz piano player who's older like my brother Bobby, like older than me. And so I had that musical influence. And so at a young age, I was playing jazz and playing drums at 5. And before you know it, I'm playing with all the top R&B people out of Minneapolis. So it was just really a trajectory that happened pretty quickly. And it was learning on the fly. Because I was exposed to so much great music. I was listening to Herbie Hancock, George Duke, Bobby Lyle, Patrice Rushen, and everybody, all these people I've been able to work with, which is kind of crazy.
That's
to end up
amazing.
Working with all of them, including Jeff Lorber. So I think just the trajectory and the course and the lessons I learned musically, learning great music and a lot of musicality at a young age, I think helped really get me on my way.
So what you're saying is parents should buy the drum set for the 5-year-old.
What I'm saying is what's going on right now is kind of sad
Mm,
because we're losing music in the school.
yes.
You know, there's kids relying too much on technology. They're not learning how to play, and it's great. The tools are great, and we all use them sitting up here. We use all the tools.
Right.
But I would say to anyone at home right now, parents collectively, let your kids learn how to play an instrument, master it, really learn how to play, and we're missing that right now.
My philosophy on kids is they should all play some sort of team sport so they learn how to work with others,
Right.
and they should play an instrument. Like those are my two pillars for parenthood, because I think it's so important. The music is so important for other things, just, you know, even if your kid isn't trying to get on stage. So yeah,
Sports is good. It teaches you how to lose. And
It does
and
teach
have
you.
resilience.
Yes, absolutely. I do believe kids need to lose.
That's right.
They need to lose. They need to hear no.
That's right.
They
Everybody
just
can't be a winner all at once.
Everybody
Everybody's a
can't-
winner. You're a winner. Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yes, but no.
But no.
Yes. Yeah, no, but no.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm actually writing a children's book,
Oh wow.
and it's based on my young experience learning the piano. In fact, the book ends with me winning a talent show in junior high school. And the thing about that is we want the book to encourage kids to really learn an instrument instead of depending on technology.
Yes.
But it's also for the parents, if you recognize any kind of talent in your child, you have to nurture that.
Yes.
Get 'em
Absolutely.
lessons, get them an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope this book, once it comes out, it's called Mama's Piano, because I did learn on my mama's piano.
Okay.
And so hopefully that's going to encourage, like I said, both levels, the children and the parents.
And when is that book supposed to come out?
I'm looking somewhere in the next 6 months. I'm trying to find a good publisher, but the story is already written.
It's already done.
And we've gotten some great pictures from AI, because children's book illustrators who are really good charge a whole
A
lot,
lot of money. Yeah, you got to pay for that art.
Yeah, that's
You got to
right.
pay for it.
That's right.
Now, did you start playing at a very young age as well, Bobby?
6 years old, yeah.
6 years. Okay, so you were 5 years old, 6 years old. Stokely, when did you start playing instruments?
4.
4 years
Oh,
old.
you got us both beat. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in abs. My first gig was at this place. I was standing on top of this chair playing, because the conga was bigger than me. At the First National Bank in Minneapolis. There's still, I think the caption was "Big Drum, Tiny Drummer."
Wait, your first gig was
First
at
show, yeah.
the
Yeah.
bank.
At the bank outside with this African dance troupe. we were
Oh,
playing.
wow.
Yeah, so.
And you're at the bank next week, right?
At the bank, yeah, I'll be there all week. You know?
Depositing
Cashing
money.
Depositing money, that's right.
Cashing checks.
No, and Stokely, I think that, I think that people loved, one of the reasons that people loved Mint Condition so much, I mean, obviously because the music is great, but it was like the live music, the instruments, it was the band that people loved, because, we listen to R&B all day, every day, and everybody is not giving us those live instruments all the time. Do you think that is part of the magic of Mint Condition?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we did what we grew up singing and wanted to be. The great bands of the '70s, when they had music in the schools,
Right.
direct correlation to that.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's what we wanted to be. So we saw, groups like Ohio Players and, groups like, Journey and, Chicago and, all these amazing horn bands.
Yes.
That had all this musicality. So we wanted to be that. You know what I mean? So that's what we just following, the landscape, the musical landscape of the moment.
And I know we're here about smooth jazz, but because we're talking about Mint Condition and music, what do you think about R&B today?
It's evolved, and I will say too, the three things that I always tell the younger folks coming up is the three things that I think are important to pay attention to, which is, learn your instrument, your technical facility, learn the history of it, all that, learn the business, what you're doing, and pay attention to technology. Because whatever industry you're in, technology always moves it forward. Now, you have to be careful, like they were saying, as far as the tech part, learn the actual skill set first.
Yes, absolutely.
So you know both, because you got to have that foundation, and then the technology will bring that. So you understand the full scale of it.
Right. I think that, and do you have any R&B artists that are new to this era that you really love right
I
now?
love people like Lucky Day. I
Mm-hmm.
love like her.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of young musical acts, and even some people who are really great songwriters who are using music in a different way. So they're pushing it forward. And then, of course, in every decade, you have people who are just on the fringes. It's just like for the popularity of it all, just for the sake of fame, and
They don't have the passion, the
yeah,
love
it's
for it.
just it's for they're in there for somewhat other reason. God love them, but they have a outlet. But I'm more on the musical side and advocate for the musician, people who are really serious about learning the craft and trying to spread some healing out here through vibration.
Okay, I love it. So
Yes.
so tonight, all three of you all are performing at Smooth Jazz at the Raleigh Improv. We're looking forward to that. Before I let you all go, I do want to ask each of you a question because I think that, lots of talent in the room, lots of history. Let's start with you, Shawn. What is the most outstanding moment that you've had in this business? When you close your eyes at night, because I know you've worked with a lot of people, you came from this amazing family that had a lot of work with a lot of people. What is that one moment about your career that stands out above all others?
It's funny. I just interviewed the great Bill Champlin from Chicago last week
Hmm.
on my show, and I asked him what his favorite song was, and he said he mentioned "Is It You" that he wrote for Rit, and the song that he wrote this morning,
The song that you wrote this morning.
which I thought was a great answer. But I'm going to answer that question, and you want to know something? There's been so many moments, and I don't want to minimize any of these moments because there's just too many to mention. There's too many icons that I've worked with. The list is kind of crazy endless. But I think one of the biggest moments of my life was I answered the phone one day, and I tell this story at all my concerts that I do, and the guy on the other end said he was George Duke,
The George Duke.
the George Duke, and I thought it was my older brother playing a joke on me. So I hung up the phone.
Oh no. Did he call back?
He called back.
Okay.
And the second time he called back, I still accused my brother of playing a joke on me.
Oh,
And I hung
wow.
up on him again.
No.
He called back a third time, and the third time he called back, and then he mentioned a song that I had written that I had just submitted to Warner Brothers, my publisher at the time, who I signed to. I'm with Sony Music now, but and then I went, "Is this George Duke?" He said, "Shawn, this is George Duke." He said, "What are you doing tomorrow? You want to come by the studio because I heard a song of yours, I love it, and I want you to come work on it with me." And that was it. I went over to George's house, and we were best buds up until the day he died. So
That is amazing. Bobby, you going to have to, can you top that one?
I don't know if I can top that one, and I've got a whole bunch of them, but one that always really sticks out with me. I had an album called The Journey, and on this album, I did a tribute song to Nelson Mandela,
Mm.
and he had just gotten released from prison, and he was going to come to L.A. to do a speech at the Coliseum, and the night before the speech, they were having a tribute dinner for him. And at this dinner, they wanted some entertainment. So I get a call from Quincy Jones's office saying, hey, we need you to come and do that Mandela song at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And I was actually thrilled to do that. So I got a band together. I got African dancers and drummers. And when the moment we started into that song, I looked out in the audience and I locked eyes with Mandela, and he was just beaming. He had this big smile on his face, and that moment always just stuck out to me.
That is, that's amazing. That's such an amazing story. Okay, Stokely, I'm sorry. I gotta put you last here. I mean, okay, so we got the
Throw that, I
George
don't
Duke
know.
story.
Duke,
We got the
Mandela.
Mandela. What experience sticks out most to you that you've had in this business?
Yeah, as Shawn says, not to belittle any of because there's so many after all this time. But I will piggyback off of what Mr. Lyle just said. I just recently took a trip to South Africa. It was this global music initiative program through a friend of mine, and we with this choir. And I'm just this is in relation to just what music can do, where it can take you. and we took a tour of the Robben Island, where
Yes,
Mandela was held,
where he was.
where he was, and we went inside of his actual cell, and we sang inside his cell with
Oh
the
my
choir having on
gosh.
tape, and it was really amazing. Of course, it was emotional.
Of
You know,
course.
it was the cell was like really tiny, and I didn't know how tall Mandela was,
Mhm.
but he would sleep. They said he would sleep like sideways because
Oh,
he
wow.
couldn't fit into the cell.
Oh,
But it was really, really amazing. You know, and the stories were just, of course, horrific, but it was still it was just the resilience of the people, and there was a joy
yes.
that was, you know, around everybody. So just because of music, you know, and having music in the schools, and you know, this amazing journey that I've had coming, I'm just like, wow, like pinch me. And I never got to meet the man, but you know, his spirit was still there. So
Absolutely.
that for me was a highlight. You know,
Look
it's a
at what
recent-
music can do.
Yeah.
You better have your kids playing those instruments.
Hey,
That's
that's
right.
right. That's right.
Well, listen, gentlemen,
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking time out. I know you got a lot happening today. Smooth Jazz at the Improv happening at the Raleigh Improv tonight. Tickets are still on sale. The show is at 7:30. Shawn, LaBelle, Bobby, Lyle, and Stokely. I'm so thankful and grateful that you all were able to come in and chat with our Foxy audience today. And good luck with everything tonight. And thank you for those incredible
Yes.
stories.
Oh, absolutely. Dave Stewart and Jason Peterson tonight. So, and two other amazing musicians be with us tonight too.
All right,
Just wanna
it's a
mention
full
that. Yeah,
house.
amazing.
How do we follow what everybody's got going on? How do we follow you on social media?
SeanLaBelle.com is the best way. Check me out.
Bobby
Bobby?
Lyle official.
Okay, and Stokely?
Stokely Official.
All
That's
right.
Instagram, Facebook, you know.
Okay.
Will we see you tonight?
You will see me tonight.
All right.
I will be there. I look
All right.
forward to everything. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.